And now you're here too.
Very excited. We've already got some big guests on tap.
Hello and welcome in emergency podcast from Radio Row. Johnny Venerable, Brack, PHNX Cardinals. We thought we might get some coordinator news this week, and sure as hell we did.
Yeah.
Nathaniel Hackett, former head coach of the Denver Broncos, is the new offensive coordinator for Mike LaFleur's Cardinals.
Yeah, just like his brother Matt LaFleur, Mike LaFleur is going to have Nathaniel Hackett as a non-play calling offensive coordinator year one.
Yes.
That's what's going down. And,
Yep.
you know, LaFleur makes his first big hire as head coach, and it's not without being polarizing. I think that's to put it lightly. As far as how this one's been received by the fan base, you see Nathaniel Hackett attached to your offensive side of the football, and it's not met with celebration.
We just spoke with somebody, an NFL insider before
ball
the show.
knower.
Yeah, and they tempered this as purely an administrative move.
Right.
This is an experience move. He's had success before when he was not the play caller, and I do think, listen, we're going to embrace Mike LaFleur and echo what he wants to do. This is clearly a Mike LaFleur hire.
Yeah.
This is not a mandate by Bidwill, Ossenfort, whomever. So if Mike LaFleur is on for it, then you just got to accept that. And listen, I've spent time, 2021, was at the Combine, we're with our friends at the NVR. He had just gotten the Broncos job, had an opportunity to spend probably half an hour with him extensively.
Sure.
He's a great guy. He's a super nice guy. Has he had a good time since then?
No.
It's been a lot of bad times. But you just, I'm trying to talk myself down from this and just come from a place of, can he coach? Can he correct? Can he drive morale? Can he help with the game plan without calling plays?
It's been a tough half-decade post-Green Bay for Nathaniel Hackett. I mean, after he was helping Aaron Rodgers, who was, in Aaron Rodgers' prime, and he was winning back-to-back MVPs, Nathaniel Hackett could do no wrong. But then doesn't even make it through a full season in Denver.
Yeah.
And then he goes to New York, where he happens to be Mike LaFleur's successor after LaFleur unceremoniously left as the OC for the Jets.
Yeah.
And then Hackett goes one season, and once Robert Saleh is blown out, he's moved around in that organization.
Reassigned.
That's right. The play calling duties were stripped.
Yep.
And he just kind of became somebody that was a piece in that offensive coaching staff, which I think that's going to be more his role here.
Yeah.
But when you're the Arizona Cardinals fan base and you're the team and you're bringing on LaFleur, you've got all this momentum. You can't deny that this has stunted momentum a bit.
Well,
because here's why I'll say this.
Okay.
Michael LaFleur came from Sean McVay's staff in L.A.
Yeah.
And you're like, McVay ties, fantastic.
Bring him over.
He also was in San Francisco. Shanny ties.
Yeah.
Oh, nice Kyle Shanahan ties. That's a wealth of offensive play calling and talent there. Matt LaFleur himself, very successful, very consistent on the offensive side of the football. All these three things, and he dips into Matt's coaching tree a little bit and pulls out Nathaniel Hackett and gives the fan base that. It just kind of comes off a little.
It's a little concerning.
It is.
We're not going to sit here and be like, it's great, don't listen to anybody. Like, what's the temperature of the room online? Nationally, locally, people are like, oh, what?
It probably could be the least celebrated, the most frowned upon addition you could make. I'm just being honest.
Yeah, I mean,
Shanahan, McVay, LaFleur.
But this has got to be.
Bring it.
Here's
Nathaniel Hackett.
This has got to be his brother.
Yeah.
Saying this is a good move for you. I would do that. I mean, I'm sure this is clearly who he wanted, because we haven't heard one other name tied to this job.
Right.
this is probably who he spun to. Maybe that's why they visited with Clint Kubiak, because Mike LaFleur was like, I'm going to bring Nate Hackett in as my OC, and they're like, all right, we'll touch base after this weekend.
I mean, at least it wasn't Gus Bradley saying thanks but no thanks. It's like, hey, we'd like to pay you more money. We'd like to offer you, play calling duties. And in this situation, you didn't get the thanks but no thanks from Nathaniel Hackett. That would have hurt a lot worse than this.
If we are to believe that Mike LaFleur is an elevator like Shanahan and McVay and his brother, what were the optics, I'm sure, not apples to oranges, when McVay brought in LaFleur as his OC after he failed with the Jets. And he brought him into their infrastructure, and he rebranded him. And he got his mojo back. The offense is going to succeed not with Nat Hackett, but with Mike LaFleur.
Sure.
And again, the day-to-day stuff, can you count on him? Clearly, his brother and him feel comfortable enough to say, like, he grinds, players like him, we like what he does, he can coach, he can correct, he can coordinate, he's a great, person to have in the building.
Yeah.
But,
does he make a strong cup of coffee?
That might be a little disingenuous. But when you get to NFL Sundays, he should not be holding a play sheet.
Right.
And he won't be.
Yeah, is he helping? Is he collaborating? That's fine. It's just don't let him close to the play calling.
Here's the thing about Nathaniel Hackett, and I've seen it firsthand. You're gonna get bought in when he does his press conferences because he's fun and he's endearing and he's kind of like a big sponge, and you want to like him.
Yeah.
I want to like him. I want to like this hire. And I'm sure the Cardinals know the optics of how this is going to go down.
Sure.
But if you would have told me last week when we were going through it, you can have Mike LaFleur, but this is who he wants as his OC, I would have signed off on this. I would not have, especially if I would have known that Mike was going to call plays. I would not have been, I would have been like, really? You got all these resources, all these people to tap into, this is what you want to do? But
understanding the context, it's so important as far as this goes.
Yeah.
But it is a big title. It is the first hire. That's all I just want people to kind of, as we take inventory of this, to take account of. It's important.
Yeah, and they tried to make Gus Bradley their first hire.
Yeah.
They've been trying to make a signature defensive coordinator their hire. Speaking of that, so we do have some additional news. We're going to cover more of this extensively this afternoon. We wanted to get live, but they are taking a look at interim coach for the New York Giants on the defensive side. Let me pull up his name because I don't even have it in front of me.
Is it Nick Bolin?
Nick Bolin, who is the Giants' interim coach. He was Chandler Jones's position coach with Cliff from 2019 and 2022 or whatever it was. Then he goes to college, goes to U of I, and then goes back to the NFL with the Giants. And then when the firings happened this year, he got elevated to D.C.
Okay.
And he's still on Harbaugh's staff. He was retained by John Harbaugh.
And they're giving him a D.C. look.
They're interviewing him for the D.C. job, which tells me that Wink Martindale or otherwise, outside of what Gus Bradley would have represented, it doesn't look like there's a preferred candidate.
Let's go back to a week ago, Johnny. What you would sign up for.
Yeah.
Mike LaFleur.
Yep.
With the caveat of Nathaniel Hackett as your OC and a relative unknown Bolin as your DC, because everybody's talking about you need kind of a veteran voice on that side of the football. I don't know if that is one that represents that.
I'd still sign up for it because I am under the impression they got the head coach right.
Yeah. And
I also understand, listen, the Cardinals and Mike LaFleur, they can't make people take their money right now. If there are the optics right now with some of these, they offered more money to Gus Bradley and play calling, and he didn't want the job.
Yeah, but Albert Burr told us, it's where he is in his career. He's got this relationship with Saleh. Maybe that's something he wanted.
Let me pose this comparison. Is Gus Bradley and Nathaniel Hackett, are their roles similar?
Yes.
I think that's how you can kind of phrase it.
Okay.
But I'm with you. They need a good defensive coordinator hire. We'll still contend that that's the more important hire. I don't know much about this guy. Obviously, the Bidwills know him with his time in Arizona, but I still think, like, probably continue to kick the tire. Like, are you going to take anybody from the Rams staff? I would. I mean, look at what Ben Johnson. Noah and I were talking about this off air. Like, Ben Johnson, like, picked apart the Lions staff last year. Took 3 guys with him.
That was the expectation from the fan base.
Right.
That was my point. Shanahan, McVay continue to just kind of chip away at those staffs.
Yeah.
And you're going to Nat Hackett, and you're going to the New York Giants defensive side of the football.
You're not into that? You don't like that?
It's just, this is going to be this first staff, Cardinals fans, I'm telling you, and I'm looking at the camera, it's not going to be for the faint of heart.
It does feel that way.
You have to accept, it's like, you got Mike LaFleur. You have to, that's the win here. Then everything else is going to be an acquired taste.
TBD.
Yeah.
It's going to be TBD.
You're going to have to learn to love it.
And again, like, this is not me shilling or coping, but even if they had gotten some of these known commodities, there's not a guarantee that they're going to succeed either. I remember what somebody told us earlier this week is when the Dallas Cowboys hired Matt Eberflus, that was seen as a good hire for Brian Schottenheimer. Say what you want about his tenure in Chicago, like, oh, he's somebody who's just a head coach, but now he gets back to his roots as a DC. That was a disaster. So you gotta hope that and trust that Mike and the infrastructure of what they're looking for in a staff, because not just anybody, it sounds like, can be a part of what they aspire to have as a DC or an offensive coordinator. They're looking for a very specific criteria.
Yeah.
And that might rely on the fan base giving him a little bit of grace with this.
Yeah. It was prime Aaron Rodgers, but him as a non-play calling OC in Green Bay was his last time he had success. But that was half-decade ago, and that was some big blemishes that have happened in between.
I mean, I'm going to pull up his Wikipedia.
It's like, you wanted Mike McDaniel, and we'll give you somebody from Mike McDaniel's staff in Miami.
Like
here's Hackett.
Like Hackett, to me, like, he was a quarterback coach. Is that just kind of what he's better suited as? So here's his tenure. I mean, he was the Bills OC from 2013 to 2014.
That's not a great time to be the Bills OC. That's not Josh Allen.
Then he went to the Jags, who was the quarterback coach. Then he was the OC for the Jags. This is like his 5th OC job.
Yeah.
Then he goes to the Packers, becomes their OC. Then he becomes the Broncos head coach. Then he goes to the Jets, becomes their OC. Then he went to the Packers last year. He's with, I mean, Matt, this is a Matt recommendation.
Yeah.
This is a Matt LaFleur recommendation, and you're just going to have to trust, like, if we're trusting the LaFleur family, if we're in the trust tree, we got to be all in because here,
I fell out.
Matt's walking up to the facility. I'm Matt. Bo's Hackett. He's like, here's my guy right here. He's going to make him your OC. He's going to do you right. You just going to have to trust him.
Yeah. He's going to get everything right that you need. It's going to put you at ease as a first-year head coach, as a play caller. This is me coping, everybody.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be his 5th offensive coordinator job in the NFL.
Let's talk about the other part of this before we get out of here, but we're going to be live at 4:30 Arizona. Join us. We're going to get to all your Super Chats at that point, right?
Yeah, we're going to table Super Chats right now.
We're not going to miss any of your Super Chats. We're going to make sure that we get to them on the live show at 4:30. The big-time, big boy audience there. We appreciate everybody investing your time and getting busy in the chat today. Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, we talked to somebody right before we came on air, and they threw water at that.
Yeah.
But here's what I know. I'm going to give you 3 quarterbacks that both LaFleur and Nat Hackett have tied to. Aaron Rodgers, Malik Willis, both of them do, Jimmy Garoppolo. And then you see there was a rumor kind of started by Connor Hughes that the Jets may not want Kyler. They could want Jacoby Brissett to reunite with Frank Wright. It's like, if you ask me right now, like, of those 3 guys, are any of them with the Cardinals next year? 100%. Jimmy, Malik, Aaron Rodgers. I think they'll get minimum one of those guys to come here.
Yeah.
And then you're just kind of TBD in it. But, like, would it shock you if, like, Jacoby Brissett and Kyler Murray were gone from this team? Given, like, what they're doing right now, they've got a very fixed idea of what they want to do.
Yeah, that's a tightrope walk throughout this offseason.
It's a lot of change.
To have two quarterbacks, to have what you had, going into last season and feeling comfortable with that room. And I know that it faced adversity.
Yep.
But that's a tightrope walk that I don't know if you want to have to kind of go down. The latest from Ian Rappaport. Cardinals have requested Rams assistant head coach, defensive pass game coordinator Aubrey Pleasant.
Let's go.
To interview for the DC job.
That's what we need. We've never needed anything more.
He was a strong contender for Jim Harbaugh's staff.
Okay, that's the hire.
Is it?
Make the flipping hire.
That gives you a little bit.
That's the juice we were looking for.
Okay.
That's what we need.
All right.
That's what we need.
We're going to talk about that.
What a show we have for you later today.
Yeah, and so much more. There's so many newsbreakers, insiders, unbelievable athletes, current players, former players. We're going to talk to them all here at Radio Row at the Super Bowl. We appreciate everybody joining in this impromptu emergency podcast. Cardinals make their first hire of the Mike LaFleur era.
Yeah. Just let it sit with you for a couple days, maybe a cocktail, and listen. In Mike, we trust.
Yeah, like we said, your super chats are going to be in the 4:30 show. Look for those. We really appreciate you guys taking the time, spending the money there. Those will not go unread. You guys crushed it this time. We're going to be back here in a couple hours. Got a lot of work to do between now and then, but join us 4:30 AZ time. 3:30 Pacific for PHNX Cardinals. For Johnny, I'm Bo. We'll talk to you then.
We all silly like the mayor.